Hello dear students, welcome to Biodogma. Hope you are doing well. We know that multicellular organisms are evolved from unicellular organism. But do you ever think why? Let's understand the story of metazoa evolution. Origin of metazoa is very interesting and it creates a new vista in biological world. In unicellular organism, the single cell performs all the biological activities through these cell organelles, and the unicellular organism is all in one in this type of structural organization. Okay, but in multicellular organism, the life originates from a single zygote and it divides by rapid mitotic division, and the stem cell are differentiated into different types of cells. Okay, each and every types of cells has its specific function. Muscle cell for movement and the nerve cell for communication procedure. And here the single cell divides and form a cellular mass, and a group of cells perform the similar function to form the tissue and then the organ structure. This organ actually builds up to form the organ system structure. Okay, these carry out the life process in the multicellular organism. The unicellular organism has very limited surface area to volume ratio. So these are unable to expand beyond their limit. Okay, you can understand আমরা এই ইউনিসেলুলার অর্গানিজমকে ইচ্ছা করলে ইচ্ছে মতো বাড়াতে পারবো না, এর একটা নির্দিষ্ট লিমিট আছে, এটা এর একটা ড্রব্যাক। ওকে, কিন্তু আমরা যদি if we see here the multicellular organism, in multicellular organism the cells are divided and its journey starts from the single zygote. Okay, as it proceeds the cleavage, the volume of that cell gradually decrease. So the cell volume is very small in case of multicellular organisms. Okay, they divide rapidly in their body, and as a result this type of organism can increase its size, they can grow. Okay, it is actually the very better advantage for the multicellular organisms. Okay, here the single cell is everything, okay, for unicellular organism. It has huge amount of workload. It has to look after and perform all the biological process. So if injury occurs in this organism, what happens? Then this type of unicellular organism died. Okay, it cannot be, there is no option for its replacement. So unicellular organism has very limited lifespan. But if we consider the multicellular organism, if each and every type of cells has specific function, that means the division of labor. Okay, all the biological function, okay, or cellular function are equally uniformly distributed among various type of cell. So this cell has not huge amount of workload. They are very flexible. Okay. As a result, okay, this type of cell, in this type of cell, if injury occurs and a few cell dies, okay, this type of cell can be replaced by cell division. Okay, this type of single cell is always in stress. That means certain environmental change like pH, temperature may hampers its biological process. But multicellular organism has different type of system to overcome this situation. That means environmental changes. Okay. So the problem of unicellularity is solved by multicellular concept. কিন্তু এখানেও এক প্রবলেম, মাল্টিসেলুলার অর্গানিজমে যে ডিফারেন্ট টাইপস অফ অর্গান ফরমেশন হয়েছে, ওকে, কেন তৈরি হয়েছে? হ্যাঁ, টু ইনক্রিজ দ্য অর্গানাইজেশনাল কমপ্লেক্সিটি অফ দ্যাট অর্গানিজম, because the multicellular organisms are too much advanced. Okay, different types of system performs various function, say as for the circulatory system. Okay, the heart performs the transfer of nutrients and different molecules into different parts of the organism body. Okay, for this purpose, ওকে, হ্যাঁ, এখন অর্গানিজমকে কি করতে হবে? এই যে ভেরিয়াস টাইপের অর্গান ফরমেশন হয়েছে, তাকে তার বডির মধ্যে প্লেস করে দিতে হবে, জায়গা করে দিতে হবে। এটা একটা মাল্টিসেলুলার অর্গানিজমের ক্ষেত্রে সবচেয়ে বড় চ্যালেঞ্জ। ওকে, ধরো তোমার ফিজিক্স, কেমিস্ট্রি, বায়োলজি, ম্যাথামেটিক্স, ওকে, এই সমস্ত বই যদি তুমি হ্যাপাজার্ডলি রেখে দাও, যখন তোমার প্রয়োজন হবে তুমি কি একটা সিনক্রোনাইজড ওয়েতে এই সমস্ত বুকসকে তুমি খুঁজে পাবে? তার জন্য তোমাকে কি করতে হবে? সেই সমস্ত বইগুলোকে, হ্যাঁ, তোমার বুক সেলফের মধ্যে হোক বা পার্টিকুলার প্লেসে একটা ওয়েল অর্গানাইজড ম্যানারে গুছিয়ে রাখতে হবে, যাতে তুমি তোমার প্রয়োজনে সেটাকে সিনক্রোনাইজলি ইউজ করতে পারো। তাহলে এখন অর্গানিজমের সবচেয়ে বড় চ্যালেঞ্জ কি? এই ডিফারেন্ট টাইপসের অর্গানকে বডির মধ্যে প্লেস করে দিতে হবে। তাহলে প্লেস তো এমনি হবে না। যদি একটা মাল্টিসেলুলার অর্গানিজম এ গ্রুপ অফ সেল মাস হয়, একটা সলিড বডি স্ট্রাকচার হয়, ওর ফ্লেক্সিবিলিটি, হ্যাঁ, কখনোই ফরমেশন হবে না, অ্যান্ড দ্যাট ক্যান নট অ্যালাউ the position of the different types of organ in the organism's body. Okay, how the multicellular organisms solve this type of problem? This is the major challenge for multicellular organism. For better understanding, my dear student, today I discuss about the different germ layers and xylem. Fertilization leads to formation of zygote, and zygote undergone the rapid mitotic cell division, and by cleavage it forms the solid cell mass, that means morula stage, and after that it forms a hollow ball of cells, that is blastula. Okay, and these cells are the blastomeres, and in this hollow cell mass a central cavity is formed, that is the blastocell cavity. Here you can see this is the blastocell cavity. Okay, and after that the blastomere shows the gastrulation procedure. Okay, and at the point of where the sperm enter, just opposite to it a particular pore is formed that is known as blastopore. Is it clear? And the cells are invaginated through this blastopore, and these are enfolded, form a different types of layers: outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, and a specific cavity inside the endoderm that is archenteron. Okay, গ্যাস্ট্রুলেশন প্রসিডিওর এবং ব্লাস্টুলা ফর্মেশন তোমাদের কাছে খুব ক্লিয়ার হয়ে যাবে। এটা একটা ফার্টিলাইজড এগ, it undergoes the cleavage procedure. Okay, this is the first cleavage pen and followed by the division, and it forms a cell mass that is the blastula stage by rapid cell division. And this blastula forms a blastopore cavity. These are the blastomere cells. You can clearly see this. Okay, and it performs a specific morphogenetic movement. Here you can see the blastopore position. This is the position of the blastopore. Okay, is it clear? After gastrulation, the cells are invaginated and forms the archenteron structure, and this archenteron is actually the primitive gut, that means the digestive tract or alimentary canal of that organisms. Okay, you can clearly see that different types of early embryonic layers or germ layers are produced. Okay, this is the ectoderm. Okay, this is the mesoderm, and another type of germ layer, this is the endoderm, and this hollow cavity is the blastocell cavity. The organism in which only two germ layers are produced, the ectoderm and the endoderm. Okay, this is the endoderm portion and this is the ectoderm portion, and in between this ectoderm and endoderm an undifferentiated layer, that is mesoglia, is present. This type of organisms are known as diploblastic organisms. Okay, generally the coelenterates, that means Cnidaria and Pomgeli, Ctenophora, are the diploblastic organisms, and where in between ectoderm and endoderm third layer, that is mesoderm, present, this type of arrangement is known as triploblastic. From platyhelminthes to chordates, all organisms are generally triploblastic arrangement. In case of diploblast animal, in between outer ectoderm and inner endoderm, the undifferentiated non-cellular, okay, mesoglia is present. Actually, okay, it is generally composed of the water molecules, okay, and the fibrous protein is present, okay, as collagen, okay, and also heparan sulfate proteoglycan are present in between these ectoderm and endoderm. Okay, these are the major components of the mesoglia layer, and this mesoglia is generally acellular in nature, but it contains some amount of muscle fiber and nerve fiber. But these are not actually the cell. So this is acellular in nature in case of diploblastic animal. Okay. And this type of mesoglia acts as a hydrostatic skeleton. Okay. This hydrostatic skeleton helps to maintain the structure of the organism, okay, and it maintains the shape, structure, and gives the flexibility of that organism. But in case of porifera, okay, the outer dermal layer, okay, this is the pinacoderm layer. This is the pinacoderm layer, and inner gastral layer, this is the choanoderm layer. Actually, this is made up of choanocyte cell. In between this outer dermal and inner choanoderm layer, third non-cellular portion is present, that is the mesohyl layer. Okay, but this mesohyl layer is quite different from this mesoglia part. Okay, this mesohyl is actually gelatinous and non-cellular matrix. Okay, this is composed of collagen fiber and fibronectin like molecule. Okay, and here the major part is the galactin. Okay, this is the major constituent of this mesohyl portion, and another molecule present, that is dermatopoietin. Okay, this is present in very less amount. This mesohyl or the non-cellular gelatinous matrix helps in cellular adhesion, signal transduction, and cell growth. Okay, actually sponge do not have true tissue structure. This is multicellular non-tissue grade organization. তোমরা যদি স্পঞ্জের বডিকে স্মাশ করে দাও এবং ওই সেলকে ডিফারেন্সিয়েট করে আলাদা করে আবার সি ওয়াটারে রেখে দাও, তখন ওই সেলগুলো আবার এগ্রিগেট হওয়ার চেষ্টা করবে। ওকে, actually these do not forms any organized tissue structure. In between pinacoderm and choanoderm, the mesohyl is present, and in mesohyl different amoebocyte cells are present, but these cells are loosely organized. Okay, the sponge, that means porifera, do not show the actual or true gastrulation procedure. So in sponge, true ectoderm and true endoderm is not. That means the germ layers are not formed, okay, which is the key features of diploblastic organism. So the sponge, that means porifera, is not considered as diploblastic organisms. And in case of triploblastic organisms, the mesoderm is present in between ectoderm and endoderm. Okay? And the from platyhelminths to caudate, all are triploblastic organisms. And here these germ layers, that means ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, forms different types of organ system. Say as for the outer layer forms the epidermis of skin and neuron, nerve cells, okay, and the central nervous system portion. Endoderm layer, inner layer, forms the stomach cell, lung cell, that means alveolar cell, thyroid cell, etc. And from mesoderm, okay, it forms the notochord, it forms the different types of blood cell, connective tissue, bones, cartilage, okay. And from this mesoderm, the coelom is produced.